All right, let's talk about Avatar 2. This is called Way of the Water. I went and saw this. I didn't even know that the theaters were open on Christmas. We don't really celebrate, those holidays. And we just did whatever we felt like doing this year. So we did go do a family thing, and it was great. It worked out great. With the baby, we had to I took a kid, and then my husband, we switched off and took the baby, and then my husband and other kid went. And I've seen so much and read so much about this, that it's a horrible show. It's triggering people. It's making people sick. People don't like it. So I was a little nervous coming in. I will always be the guinea pig for everything. And I'm like, okay, I know whatever I'm going to face, I can clear off. I'm not really worried, even though it's a minor inconvenience for me if something does attach. And I thought it was great. I think everybody should see it. Some of the themes that I noticed were a stepping up and healing of the divine masculine energy, which has been a theme within ourselves. We all have this divine feminine, divine masculine, whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter, but they need to be balanced within the body. I saw this writing of the masculine is the protector. And when the divine masculine is providing and protecting, it really allows for the feminine energy to blossom and grow into who she is without having to take on the role of the protector and the provider at the same time. Because our energy is best spent creating and blossoming and flourishing. We are the creators with the womb portals. And so when we have to take on the warrior role and the protector role at the same time, it diverts energy from our creation life force, which is what we're really supposed to be doing. So I saw that as a theme. In the first one, most of you have probably had, 10 years to watch the first one. A big theme was them raping and pillaging and stealing resources from the earth. And it didn't seem like that touched people as much as this one. This next one is more about stealing resources from living things. And when they emotionally connect you into that in a very beautiful way. I felt like using tortoise energy mixed with wave is really beautiful. They did a great job. And so they hooked the audience in a good way to get you emotionally invested in this outcome. And I think a reason that so many people are getting triggered by this is because when you're triggered, usually it's information you don't want to face. You don't want to deal with. You're like, I'd rather push this under the rug and pretend it doesn't exist. And they had a great way that was sensitive, like your younger children, whatever it's rated PG, I think would be okay watching it and they're not going to be traumatized. But it had a great way of connecting, hooking you into what's really happening on Earth. They show Avatar as Earth. And what I saw when I was watching it is actually, I'm not giving away the storyline to you, so don't feel like I'm spoiling it for you. But you're going to watch it from a deeper perspective from what I'm sharing. And I hope you do go watch it. They show it as Earth. Like they travel from the old Earth that they've destroyed, and then they're coming to Avatar, or whatever it's called, to harvest, and rape and pillage and use it. And that is really the story of Earth. And I think what it's doing is it's triggering this remembering deep within the souls of people, whether they want to acknowledge it or not, that Earth used to be this beautiful, pristine place. We were very much in tune with plants and animals and all the people around us. They show the connection point where they actually hook in and connect like a matrix cord. And so the matrix is actually an AI simulation of what was really intended to be with creation. And it's a beautiful reminder that we are connected to all things. We are all one, we're unity. And everything the Matrix has done was to conquer and divide and keep us separate. And you see a drastic contrast of the AI robotic simulation, the destruction created by these, people and machines that are stuck with, they're based their life on money, right? Where everything we're doing is like digging for gold and ripping apart this and creating all this waste because we're digging for resources that's worth money, versus the true happiness, true joy, true connection that comes when you push all that aside and you just have the true connections with animals and plants and other humans and souls. So I thought it was great. I didn't feel any negative hooks in it. I didn't, other than what I said, it hooked you in emotionally. What I felt was to create an awakening, to start to wake people up. And so much, Shauna said she loved Avatar 2. So I want you to not be afraid. I feel like there's like this AI system out there that's putting all this negative propaganda so that people don't go watch it because they don't want you to awaken. And really interesting was I was there early enough to watch the previews, and almost every single movie coming out has to do with intergalactic space travel, portals, the quantum realm. They're starting to show you, at least in the last Spider-Man and the new Spider-Man, Ant-Man or whatever it is coming out, that there's like different lives playing out in these parallel universes, which I've been talking to you about for quite a while. This is all real. And I feel like for people who rely on media, if I didn't see it on TV, it's not true. It is trying to awaken them from the sidelines. So like you're getting awakened by engaging with my media. If you're in Telegram, like you're probably already really awakened, but there's a lot of people who are still very asleep. And I see these new films as like planting the seed of quantum healing, planting the seed that we can have multiple lifetimes and parallel universes. And even the new Disney movie coming out is called Elementals. I was like, are you kidding me? Like they're really coming out with a movie called Elementals. And I've talked a lot about the elementals. They're the spirit behind the elements like fire and earth and water. And I see them as kind of like a form of angelic being, but they're a spirit. And some of us have an elemental abilities where you can control the weather, or you can like bring on the rain or stop the rain or warm it up by 30 degrees in your area faster than everybody else. So I have some elemental abilities, and others do too. We just haven't tapped into them. And there's like spirits that we can't really see that are acting as elementals. And I think it's so cool that of all the, like Disney, I want to say it with cringeworthy, but they're coming up with a new movie about it. Just like I loved the movie that was, I can never remember the name, but it was, I think, Pixar, and it was about the emotions in the brain. There was anger, there was joy, and it talked about how you got cut off from your inner child and those different places. That was a fabulous cartoon and movie, and it's so true. So I love it when they show us what's really happening in movies for people who are engaged in that. We don't, like, I can't remember the last time I went and saw a movie in the theater. I thought it was just something fun to do yesterday. And it was a reminder, it was a triggering. And if you're just starting to awaken, it can be very brutal when you start to open your eyes to all the darkness. Just like my clients who are like, hey, why does this relationship seem really toxic all of a sudden? You start to awaken and see the destruction, the path of chaos that was before you, and before you had your head in the clouds and you weren't paying attention or connected into it. Avatar is helping awaken people to that and just seeing like the pathway of destruction. And I see our future is actually going into the past. So I see us returning to the Avatar type timeline where we're more connected in with the water, with humanity, with nature. And we realize the life force energy within all things. So I give it 2 thumbs up. I recommend that everybody go see it.